Welcome to the Health Front of the Week, episode 16. Sweet 16. Hi, my name is Alejandro Flores, Certified Fitness and Nutrition Coach with Alatus Fitness. Today, we're going to talk one more time about the most boring, recurring topic since March. Well, kind of. Today's episode is titled About the Mask. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this topic just because this happens to be a very controversial one. I do know that there are some parts of the world where people feel pretty strongly for and against the mask. So I decided to take the time to go and do some research and look into the opinions of several different doctors, ranging from experts at the Mayo Clinic, Dr. Oz, if you can call it. I don't know. It's just popular, I know, and some other sources, just to have a clear understanding on where we really are standing in terms of wearing the mask. All right, so. If you check there's one of my episodes that it's titled "Is COVID Still Around?", where I actually talk about what is in your control. So the things that are within your control to minimize the risk of getting infected with the virus. All right. Now, one of the many recommendations are to wear the mask. So the mask is just wear the mask, any mask. We're not talking about the N95. Now, I guess you can think of, okay, so trying to stop a virus or getting infected with a virus with a face mask, which is made out of some sort of cloth, is as good as trying to avoid getting mosquitoes around you by building a chain link fence. All right, so let's just get that out of the way. And those are not my words. Those are words that I've heard from a couple of medical experts. All right, now, having said that, so I want you to understand the pros and cons. If you believe that the mask will keep you from getting infected, the sad and blunt answer is it will not. Okay, simple as that. However, I want to just share all the information that I found. There are two main purposes for you to wear the mask and two main reasons why the mask is being recommended. And I don't want you to get the wrong information because people are very freely, openly going out there. I do see that most people are not doing what they should be doing, which is within their reach, which is making sure that their immune system is nice and strong, like by drinking, having sugar and things like that. Those things are going to, the stress alone is going to wreak havoc in your immune system. So that alone, those things are within your control. I know it's easier said than done, but yes, you have more control with that than the exposure to a virus, whatever virus it is, okay? Now, what are the two only benefits of wearing the mask? And this doesn't come from me. I didn't make this up. This is from the medical experts that I have been researching. So they say one is it will keep you from, or it will keep you from touching sensitive areas like your nose and your mouth, right? So whereas there's a mucosa type of thing, soft tissue that actually you can get the virus in through very, very easily, and it can get absorb whatever lodge pretty easily, right? So that's the first thing. It's just to cover and prevent from you actually touching your face for the most part. That's what they say. If it's true or not true, that is for debate. It's up for debate. I'm not the one to tell. And number two, and this is the reason why medical doctors, and this came from another doctor once again, the reason is you wearing the mask protect others in case you are infected. All right, so that means that if you were infected and one of the symptoms is like the sneezing, and you were to sneeze, mind this: if you were to sneeze, it's going to reduce, not avoid, not eliminate, but avoid the risk because of the the diffusion that you're going to create. And like I heard something like a sneeze can move like in the air at 90 miles an hour. And I've heard like things like something like 30 feet or something. I don't know if that is true, but even if like, just don't get caught up on those details necessarily. But the one thing that will help with is you just not spreading if you are infected. Okay, so once again, I just want people to understand, and this is from the information I gathered, that you are actually helping to contain if you're infected. So it's good practice as it is, just washing your hands and things like that. The potential detrimental effects are that it can, for one, it can increase like the moisture in those areas, making them more vulnerable to bacteria and things like that. So because you're going to increase like the water, concentration, like particles around your mouth and your nose. Okay, so that's very important for you to keep in mind. The other detrimental effect is like when you have something that is covering your mouth and your nose, what happens is that you are forced to rebreathe, so to breathe part of the CO2 that you're actually expelling, and like just it limits the intake of oxygen. So I do know and have heard of like accidents that have happened from people going into kind of like an hypoxic state. So those are things that you want to be mindful of. I mean, things like if you're in like public areas where you're like it's mandatory for you to wear them, please wear them. Whenever you're in the open and the next person is like, 10 feet away from you, honestly, it has limited benefits, and it can actually be detrimental, especially if there's like high humidity out there and the temperature is high as well. So that is actually going to play against you. So keep those things in mind. If you are something like a smoker and people wearing them in the car, things like that, those can be actually more detrimental than beneficial to you. So those are things to keep in mind. My last word is not necessarily wear it or not wear it. My advice is to comply. It's just to comply whenever you don't need to. It's not like, it's just exercise. As always, exercise your common sense whenever your exposure or to the virus is potentially limited because you don't have anyone around. You're in the open. If you have someone that is like just sneezing balcony to balcony, I'd like to think that it's just, for one, it can be allergies like mine, but the other thing is that there's like limited risk of you getting that. Whereas if you are in, say, 100 degrees Fahrenheit and like you have like whatever, like 80% humidity in the air, you can actually you can have like detrimental effects from wearing the mask. So once again, so this is not pro or against. It's just I want you to understand, one, look, the first thing I told you, which is what is it useful for? I mean, what is the whole idea behind wearing the mask? Two, what are the potential benefits? And three, what are the potential risks of you wearing the mask? And as always, be a good sport. Just wash your hands. Maintain your distance. I mean, I don't think you have to become paranoid and start looking at people like everyone's a criminal around you, but you want to exercise, the best possible precautionary, measures in order to avoid this. Once again, I hope that this has been useful to you. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just trying to give you like the good, the bad, and the ugly about this. Not pro or against. I just want you to have a clear, understanding of what we're dealing with. And as always, stay safe. My name is Alejandro Fleury, with Certified Fitness Nutrition Coach with Alex's Fitness. I'll see you next week for another more interesting topic. See you then. Bye.